Hi guys, welcome back. So, I am seeing a lot of NIO fans scratching their heads here. So, here I come. Before I begin, let's look at our stock pick. So, I recommended WIMI in the video yesterday and it gone up 27% today. So if you haven't watched the video, go check it out sometime. And also Lulu that I recommended, looks like it wants to break out too. And then I also recommended TAL on last Friday. I said I'm going to watch out for this one. And I ended up buying call option on Monday, which is 2 days ago. And in a few days, it really went from a recent low to all-time high. So this is the call option I bought on Monday for TAL, and I'm up so far at 636% in 2 days. And this one, it's even crazier. It's not often to see a call option to rise 1600% in 1 day. Guys, we're having a very good beginning of 2021 here. So if any of you have bought any of the stocks I recommended with me, please leave a comment down below so we can celebrate a little bit. Okay, enough with the recap. Let's get back to NIO. So far, NIO has been going in a way exactly I expected a week ago. The institutions are using the news to drive down the price and keep suppressing the share price in a level so they can buy at a discount. I expected it would go horizontal, so retail investors would run out of patience and cut loss or take profit. This is a long torture for the retail investors. Why? It's not because NIO is not growing, but it's because the other ones are flying. As you see, this week, a lot of the new energy and other Chinese stocks are flying. Like a lot of the stocks we have mentioned in this channel are flying. So the reason why people are feeling anxious, it's not because NIO is dropping. It's because a lot of other stocks are flying. So some people are running out of patience. And as I said, a chart like this makes no urgency to buy. Because it's boring, it's not doing anything. Every day 1 or 2% or 2-3%. So there is really no urgency to buy in for retail investors. As more and more people get anxious, it just means whatever they're doing, it's working. The average cost of chips is getting higher. The chips are more concentrated at the top now versus a few days ago. It means more people have taken profit. And as retail investors are selling, then you know who's buying. You see the volume is getting lower and lower. You can literally see who is selling and who's buying. Because if institutions are not buying, it would be down right now. How many people want to sell their NIO and chase the other stocks that are flying these days? So this is why it only makes me feel confident. So on the chart, you can see a few times it dropped to 55, it bounced back up. Why? In my video after the NIO day, I explained how I analyzed the cost of institution to be 49 and 55. So if you haven't checked that video, you can click on the link to watch it. Because when the institutions do a wash sale, it usually stay above their cost unless they need to do a golden dip. I will explain what's the golden dip later in the video. But first, let me explain a bit more the fundamentals first. So before and after NIO day, a lot of good things had happened for NIO. And yet, I think a lot of good news had been swallowed in silence because the media is not blowing it up, and it's hard for retail investors to interpret on their own. If you had watched my video about how the news affected NIO stock price in the year of 2020, then you should really know why by now. So far in January, There has been so many good news for NIO already, and they're trying to press it down. So I tried to log in on the NIO app the day after the NIO day. It's super slow. It was much slower than usually. And there are only two explanations. Either they have changed to a very, very bad server, or their pre-order of the ET7 on the NIO app, it's going crazy. They are working so hard on the manufacturing capacity. They have sufficient cash in hands now. And let's not forget the Blue Point plan that I mentioned. Because I reported this as one of the good news in the video after NIO Day, but I didn't see much reaction about this, so I think a lot of people did not realize how big this is. This is really a huge deal, and I will explain why. So the Blue Point plan basically means the consumers can get NIO Life products for free. NIO gets money, and the government is paying for it. NIO is the first car brand in the world that can get this kind of treatment. This does not only mean the extra revenue for NIO, but more importantly, it shows how much the government is supporting NIO unconditionally right now. There is also the BAAS model. I think the percentage of the BAAS sale, it's looking better and better. And more importantly, the BAAS, it's integrating very well with their battery swap stations model. And I don't think people had realized it yet, that NIO is building an actual iOS system here. It's a whole ecosystem, highly integrated together. And once you enter the system, it's hard to get out. This is why I use everything from Apple, because you're basically entering this ecosystem, the iOS system. It's very hard to get out. And NIO is doing the same thing here. They're building an iOS system with the battery swap station and the BAAS model. It is very unique. It's very innovative business model. And at first, people had a lot of doubts on it, but they're slowly proving it's working. They're proving this business model, it's working. This is a huge deal. It is a game-changing point for NIO at this point, I think. So 5 to 10 years later, I think the auto market would be entirely different than right now. Let's just look at the Chinese market here, which is the biggest auto market in the world. 5 to 10 years later, I expect to have 3 to 5 major car brands that can take up to 80% of the total market share. So we know there will be Tesla for sure. And right now, we can be almost 100% sure NIO will be one of them. So that's 2 spots taken already. Who will be the last 1 to 3 spots remaining? You have BYD, you have Geely with Baidu, you have XPeng, you have Li Auto, Alibaba, Huawei, BMW, Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, GM, Ford, Toyota, Honda. This goes on and on. There will be many, many players to fight for the very limited spots remaining. And not to mention the Apple car coming in a few years. That's gonna be massive. So the competition is really getting stronger and stronger. But right now, NIO is for sure getting one of the spots. Because after NIO Day, we just know that NIO is gonna be one of the winners in the end with glory. If I can figure this out, of course the institutions know it too. And investors love certainties. That's why I really expect to see a lot of capital flowing in NIO. I mean, just look at every time they release new shares and the convertible notes. It's always oversubscribed. I can literally see institutions are lining up to give money to NIO. Then you should know why they're doing that. So I'm going to explain more of this in the in-depth video of NIO that I'm working on right now. And it will take me more time to wrap it up. So this would really explain why the share price has not been moving much in the past few days. So the retail investors would run out of patience and have no urgency to buy in. Remember, I explained how the news affected the share price in the past year. They got the life-saving loan in April, but most people knew about it in August. Because the news is really up to interpretation. It can be interpreted as good or bad news by media. Any good news is not a good news if it's not blown up by the media. What I have analyzed to you, media would not blow it up until later, and by that time, the share price would have already priced in it. So don't let the short-term price action affect how you think of NIO. I see this price action every day. It just makes me feel more and more confident on NIO. I can see what they are trying to do. My plan stays the same as what I said before. You can check it out in my previous NIO videos. I usually make plans before any price action happen, so I don't get affected by the emotion at the moment. If anything, I only bought more than what I planned to, because when I was gathering my thoughts, I got more bullish. And if they dare to do a golden dip and break the support, you know what I would do. So I will explain what is a golden dip. The golden dip, it's when a stock breaks the support during a consolidation. The institution is trying to make it look like it will go back down to a much lower point. This is usually after a consolidation for a while, because institutions are already holding a lot of chips, so they can really easily drive down the price and break the support. And this is how they can shake out the last few weak players. Because a lot of short-term traders know technical analysis, they can read the chart. So whenever it breaks the support, they would cut loss. So I had a lot of success with the golden dip in the past. Let me show you. You see this? This is Workhorse, ticker symbol WKHS. You see? It dropped from the highest point of 30 and then had a huge gap down and then doing a long consolidation around 21 to 22. And then in the end, it tried to break the support here. And this is when I bought call option on it. And look at this. After a few days. You see, this is my call option on Workhorse on December 31st. My bought-in price was 87 cents. And then I sold it a few days later at 4.8. This is 6 to 7x already in a few days. This is BYND. I bought a call option when it was falling. So this is my BYND call option. I bought in at 3.7 and I sold it for 12.7. That's almost 4x. And also, I bought more Baidu here. It has near doubled in a month and I'm still holding it. Now this is Boeing. Look at the golden dip. Looking like it's gonna break the support, right? Around 150. And then a few days later, it went up to 200 something. That's my strategy when they do a golden dip. Now I would not recommend a call option at this point because a long consolidation can kill a lot of call options. And I only do call option when I'm quite sure about the timing. I like to play safe. I never buy call option when the stock price has already gone up so much or has started a long way in an uptrend. And also my stock X too. I'm so excited. I can't wait to share with you about my stock X and share with you how I formed the strategy along the way. I think you would really, really like it. I have already seen the right answer in the comment section. So go find it and hit some like. Anyways, I will elaborate more my in-depth analysis on NIO in the upcoming video later. It's a lot of information, so I will try to wrap it up and share this as soon as possible. please look forward to it. I'm very excited about this. If you enjoyed this update today, please give me a big like and leave me a comment. I read every single one of them. That's it, guys. Hope you can find my video helpful. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and give me a big like. Thank you.